The Oblivion Remaster is here, and I played it. Only for a few hours, 4.5 to be exact, so far that is, but I already have some thoughts. And so here I am, making a video going over my early impressions. I want to underline that, early impressions. This is not like an official concrete review kind of thing. This is my early impressions after only 4.5 hours of playtime. And just a reminder, this is a remaster, so therefore I am covering more of what the remaster did than talking about the game itself, because it's a 2-decade-old game with new graphics, so we know what the game itself is and how it plays and everything, and whether we love it or not. The real conversation here is the graphics and performance of an old game with a new skin on it. Okay, now I want to start with the bad, because a lot of people seem to have all the same issues, and for the issues to be this common, it's not a good look for this remaster. Before I even started a new file, I went into the graphics settings and made sure everything was good. I was immediately discouraged, as DLSS was automatically on the balanced setting. This is always an immediate red flag in my head. When I see this, I just don't like it. Typically games that do this are poorly optimized and trying to hide it with a quick and kind of lazy fix. I always turn it off right away, and that's what I did for the Oblivion Remaster, because I want to make sure I know the real tried and true performance I am getting. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through my start as I did the whole making my character and getting out of the jail. Everything was fine right up until I hit the sewer, which is the door right before you go outside. So I get in the sewer and out of the prison, and immediately my frames go from 120 plus, everything's hunky-dory and fine, all the way down to 50. Not a complete deal breaker. Immediately I thought, oh boy, this can't be good. This is the sewer, this isn't outside. So then I continue on and go outside, and now I'm down to 40 frames. Before I go any further, I want to show you guys my specs and graphics settings as I played through the beginning of the game, up till the step out moment. Okay, so after I saw 40 frames per second, I immediately began playing with the graphics settings to see if there was some way to produce better performance with minimal quality impact. And the reality was clear pretty quick. The optimization of this remaster is very poor. The most impactful setting I turned down seemed to be the global illumination, but that gave at very best 10 frames. Like at the very best, which I mean is like not moving or anything and just looking at one spot. 10 frames is a good amount, but nothing else seemed to have much impact on the frames no matter how much I turned them down. After realizing turning settings down gave very low performance boosts, I gave in and started playing with DLSS. And mind you, I have a 3080 Ti, so I don't have any frame generation. I turned all my graphics settings back to Ultra and put DLSS on quality and got around 60 frames per second, so I was still sitting right there at the line for me of okay, but it definitely was not consistently 60. It was more consistently in the mid to low 50s, which is still very playable, but I'm a spoiled PC brat, so I go back, turn DLSS to balanced, still with everything at ultra, and sure enough, I'm getting 70 to 80 frames with lows dipping into the 40s, which typically the lows hit in very woodsy areas. I'd also just like to shout out really quick that when I started the game, how I mentioned earlier that DLSS was automatically on, it had this game auto detects your graphics and everything, and it literally did this. It was everything ultra, DLSS balanced. I don't know if it actually was just that good at detecting how my computer would run this game, or if it's just coincidence and that's how it just kind of threw everything at me. But either way, that's how it did it, and it's really funny that I ended up just turning everything back to exactly how the game told me it should be. So, yeah. Interiors were a whole different ballgame, however, as I could get over 100 frames in caves and buildings, so most likely anyone will be okay in the interiors, but sadly a big portion of the game takes place in that big, poorly optimized open world. So, my PC is not the best benchmark of the average consumer because most people have older builds than what I have, and this is no brag, but it's just me saying I'm in that smaller percentile of PC players, and my point by saying this is that this game is so poorly optimized that I don't think it will be worth buying, even at just $50. At least not to most people. I mean, the main point of the remaster was to enjoy these new beautiful graphics, and speaking from my own perspective here, I wouldn't enjoy playing this game sub 60 frames for that price tag. I am a PC brat that likes his 60 plus frames and graphics on Ultra too, which is why I have the PC I have. Maybe you don't care about frames and you can deal with 40 to 50 frames with a low dipping down to 30. If so, then props to you, and you might not struggle to enjoy this as much as others. However, you might still run into issues because this remaster appears to have major crashing issues. I played this game for 4.5 hours and it crashed 3 times. That's almost a crash per hour. Like, way too close to a crash per hour than I would like, especially for $50 for a 20-year-old game. I know it has, the new graphics are gorgeous. I can't even lie about that. They're beautiful, but an hour each that's just crazy to me. I mean, this is borderline unplayable at that point. I was in a dialogue, and call me crazy, but I just had this feeling, for some reason, my game was going to crash. It already crashed twice before this. I just had a feeling it was going to crash soon, so I started kind of hurrying through the dialogue, and right before I could save, it crashed. Luckily, I didn't go that far back, and the crashes appear to be so frequent that I don't think you can lose that much progress between them. Now, this is my experience. This is my experience. I haven't listened to anybody else talk about the game. All I did was look up Oblivion Remastered crashing. A lot came up. And even in the Steam reviews, there's people talking about the poor optimization and crashing and all that stuff. So that's the bad. And I mean, for a remaster, it's pretty bad. At least right now. So what's the good? Well, the good is that underneath it all, this is Oblivion. And I genuinely had tons of fun playing the game, just like I did back in the Xbox 360 days, with a handful of little tweaks, like being able to start the game with sprint and leveling system. I think is a bit different if anyone wants to, confirm that 100%, but I haven't played the original Oblivion in quite a long time, so I could be forgetting some things, but it looks like they tweaked the leveling system a little, and some other things like about the leveling system they tweaked, and it looks like there is now more of like a hotbar kind of thing to be able to swap between your magics and swords and all that stuff, which is really cool. But, and this is going to be a hot take, in my opinion, you could have just as much fun on the original for $5. Sure, it doesn't have the new shiny graphics. Maybe to some of you, that's what it takes for you to be into it. But if that's what it takes for you to enjoy it, then you probably are the type to get flustered when your game doesn't run well and you have stutters and frame drops all the time. And so at that point, who is this for? Because if it's for the people that love graphics and frames and all these things, but then graphically it's gorgeous, but then it doesn't run well, who's it for? Because if you don't care about that stuff, then I just say go play the original, because the original has mod support and runs amazing. I just think overall this game looks beautiful. It's still Oblivion underneath, so it's a ton of fun if you can run it. I also think on a weekend, when I really try and sink my teeth into this game and it just keeps crashing, I'm going to get annoyed over time. And it becomes a far less enjoyable experience as time goes on because of how often it crashes. My final thought here is I think this all could have been avoided if they just ran with using Creation 2 for newer graphics. And I already know this will be a hot take to most, but hear me out. Starfield was one of Bethesda's less buggy games, and in my time with it, I really didn't have any crashes. Not saying the game never crashed, but I definitely didn't see the crashing issues to the level of this Oblivion remaster. I think they definitely ran with Unreal Engine so that they could contract out this project, since Unreal Engine is more universally known now in the gaming industry. So this way, the learning process can be cut out of the developing process. What also is a bummer for both Xbox and PC is now that it's on Unreal, the modding community is dead before it ever arrived. Whereas with Creation 2, it could have brought a cool opportunity for modding to both PC and Xbox for the first time for Oblivion. But the reality is it's a remaster, it's here, it's on Unreal Engine. I'm not going to grind that axe too much because it's pointless. I guess the bigger thing that I worry about now is who fixes this and are they going to? Because it's Bethesda's game, but it's Virtuos that was contracted out to work on it. So I really don't know. Does Bethesda make the patches and fix this game, or is it Virtuos still that works on this and continues to patch it? I'm assuming it's Virtuos. I'm assuming, but I don't know that for sure. I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom on this game because it's a really fun game, but it's because it's Oblivion. I mean, it's Oblivion, and it's freaking gorgeous if you can run it. It's just that I'm very disappointed, not surprised, because this is why I didn't really like Unreal, especially Unreal 5. I think they also could have avoided this if they just stuck with Unreal 4, which still looks gorgeous, by the way. But I'm not surprised because Unreal Engine always struggles with performance on a lot of different aspects because it pushes the tech so far and it doesn't ever really seem to worry about the optimization side of things. So I'm not that surprised, and I'm not trying to crap on things over here. I'm just being realistic and telling everybody that the Oblivion Remaster has a lot of optimization issues, and while the game is super duper fun because it's Oblivion, the remaster side of it is disappointing at its core because the performance is so poor. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling at this point, and you get the point of what I'm saying. This is a great game, beautiful looking graphics, if you can run it. But the optimization and things I really hope get fixed because it genuinely is just so much fun, and it's so much fun to see all the new armors and things and explore and see the different parts of this awesome world in these newly imagined graphics. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks gorgeous. And I hope that Virtuos does just stick with this project, optimize it, fix it, and make it a nicer experience. I mean, the crashes alone, I mean, that's pretty bad. 3 crashes in 4.5 hours. That's pretty bad. Let me know what you guys think down below. How was your experience if you have been playing it? Maybe you guys have had a better experience than me. Let me know. Am I the minority here in thinking the poor optimization, the crashes? Let me hear it down below. The game itself is fantastic, and I'm probably going to play more after I'm done making this video, honestly, because it is super fun to be able to play Oblivion again, and in these newly imagined graphics. It really does reignite my love for the game in a whole new way. So anyways, let me hear your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.